Hey guys, the student T distribution is basically the last important distribution that you need to learn. After that, all the distribution we will do are basically useless. So basically, those distribution are used in only 1 in 100 sums. So the probability of using that distribution is just 1%, okay? But however, this lecture, what we are doing is related to the student's T distribution. And another thing we would be doing is the F distribution. These two distribution are not similar to the other parts. So you cannot compare these two distribution with respect to that distribution. Basically, in this distribution, there is a PDF exactly, but we won't be using that PDF. We will be using a tables book to find the probability, the expectation of X, variance of X, CDF. How do you denote? Nothing is there in these distribution, which we are going to do in the today's lecture, which is nothing but student T distribution and F distribution. So this lecture would be quite weird, and however, this distribution is also straightforward. You do not have to apply. You will see tables book. You will understand how to implement your answers, and basically using that answer you will find a value and then you are done. You will neither use PDF, you will neither use CDF, you won't use anything. So yeah, let's go ahead. The PDF, or you can say this is nothing but Z upon chi-square divided by V. Root of this follows TV. Okay, so basically, if I were to write in words, Z is nothing but my standard standard normal distribution, right? Which is divided by root of average of chi-square. So basically, average of chi-square is nothing but this part, root of it. So root of this part, right? And standard normal is denoted by Z. So this is the formula for the student T distribution. Okay. Yeah. Going ahead, what would be the range? Range would be nothing but from minus infinity to infinity. From minus infinity to infinity. This would be my range for student T distribution. We directly jump to how to find the probability. As I said, there is no mean, variance, anything. We are directly jumping to find probability. How to find probability? I have pasted one picture regarding the textbook, or you can say the the formula and tables. It is written for the T distribution. It is on the page number 163. Okay, anybody can view it. Okay, see, as I said earlier, coloring on this side means I have been given greater than values. So the table basically gives me greater than values. So this means that if I have been given probability that my T distribution is greater than some value, I can directly use tables, right? If I am asked that probability that my T distribution is less than some value, then what do? I do 1 minus and get it in our form, that is greater than form. And for this we use tables, right? Similarly, if I am asked negative of something, it would be nothing but negative and this sign basically interchanges. So my t distribution basically becomes the opposite. So less than sign becomes greater than sign and the negative sign vanishes. So yeah, I get greater than a. Similarly, for t distribution greater than minus a, my greater than sign basically becomes opposite, which is nothing but less than, and my minus sign vanishes away. So yeah, this is similar to what we did in the first part, which is here. Okay, this is how you calculate. Okay, let us see some sums regarding the calculation aspect so that we get an hang over this type of distribution as well. Yeah, it's right here. Hmm. I want to find probability that T15 is less than 1.341. As said earlier, basically I have greater than values, so I will do 1 minus probability that T15 is greater than 1.341. Okay, let's see our tables. For 15 values, I want this term 1.341. Okay, so I will find 1.341 where it is, and then for 15th value I will find where does my 1.341 lies, and basically there would be some probability written right here. I will just directly use it. So if you see the 15 line, basically 1.341 basically lies here. If you can see, this means it lies under 10 percentage column. Therefore I can say 1 minus 10 percentage, which is nothing but 90%. Okay, this is how you calculate for the t distribution one. Similarly, if I want to calculate probability that T8 is greater than A is equal to 0.01, the value is A. I have the probability value. I just want to find that number for which it is greater than. So basically, if you see for 8, where does my 1% lie? 1% lies here. So basically, I can say that probability that T8 greater than 2.896 is equal to 0.01. So if you compare these two equations, I can basically say that my A is nothing but 2.896. Okay, this is my first part, this is my second part, and this is my third part. Okay, what is my third part? I want to find probability of T24 less than minus 0.5314. Negative and this sign basically interchanges, so it becomes probability of T24 greater than 0.5314. This table is greater, so I can directly have a view. Where is T24? T24 is here. I want to find 0.5314. It is right here. It lies under 30 percentage, right? So basically my answer is 30 percentage. That's how you use table for the t distribution. That's it. You do not have to do anything. If question come finding the probability, directly find the probability. You do not have to apply your brains at all. Just see, find the right value, write the right value. You are done. You get your answers. Okay. So this is my t distribution. Okay, there are some properties regarding t distribution. So let me write down the properties. T distribution is a symmetrical distribution. Okay, so what do you mean by symmetrical distribution? Basically, if this is my graph would look like this, which is almost similar to normal distribution. Okay, this is somewhat the graph of the t distribution as well. Okay, so this is my one single property I have. Going ahead, writing f distribution. Even here, you do not have to apply so much of logic. You can directly see the formulas. Okay, so what is the formula? Basically, chi square m divided by m upon chi square n divided by n follows f m comma n. Okay, this is what it denotes. So f of m comma n is not equal to f of n comma m. So basically you cannot interchange n and m. Okay, take care. So you can see its distributions value from page number 170. Okay, we will understand this later, but right now let's just ignore it. Okay, this is basically my value. There is one more thing. When I want to find, my question is when f m comma n is equal to f n comma m. When this would be true. Okay, so 1 upon f m comma n is nothing but f n comma m. Okay, so this is not true, but if you reciprocal this value, then this is true. Okay, going ahead. Now I have not pasted its basically all the sums, or you can say, just a second, let me find. Yeah, I have not pasted the textbook or the, you can say, tables book for f distribution, but even using f distribution is similar. So yeah, if I have a question of finding probability of f 5 comma 4 greater than 4.051, if you see the graph, my graph it's somewhat like this, and this part is colored. If the latter part is covered, this means that I have been given greater probabilities. So basically, in order to find probabilities, if f m comma n I want to find greater than a, this would be given in tables. Similarly, if I have a question of probability f m comma n less than a, basically I will just 1 minus f m comma n greater than a, and I can just get this from tables. Okay. Similarly, it is exactly the same as t distribution. So yeah, I have question of finding f5 comma 4 greater than 4.051. So basically my first variable is nothing but m is 4, and my second variable n is nothing but 3. Sorry, this is 5 and this is 4. If you compare this with respect to this, I can write m as 5 and n as 4. So yeah, I can even write this as v1 and v2. So basically, how do we find its probability? If you see, every table has an heading of 10% or 5% or 2.5% and so on. So basically, there are some values of v2 and v1, right? So basically my v1 is 5. So I will find 5 here. I will find 4 right here. The middle value which I get, I will compare it with this. If this is what I get, then basically the topic what it has written, if it was 10%, I will get the value of 10%. Okay, this is how it works. So I want to find 5 comma 4 for 4.051. If you see page number 171, then under 5 of V1 and under 4 of V2, I basically get 4.051, which is under the head topic of 10%, right? So basically my answer is 10%. That's it. That's what you have to do. Okay. So yeah, if this is my answer, so this is what F distribution is, this is what T distribution is. How does the graph of F distribution look like? So let us see that. These distributions are not important so much. These distribution would only be used in our confidence interval and hypothesis chapter, which is nothing but chapter 8 and 9. It would be only used there, nothing else. So yeah. The graph is somewhat like this. So basically this type of graph is known as a positive skewed graph. Okay. So yeah, we get our answer of F distribution and T distribution. We also saw some respect to F and T. In the next lecture, basically I will starting with, I am left with only basically three types of distributions. So we'll complete that fast and then we are done with our chapter. Those three distribution which I'm doing are not important, but since it is given in textbook, we'll do it. Basically, even I do not teach you, it is quite easy because the formula for expectation of x, variance of x, you can see it in tables and you could just write the values down here and then you are done. So basically, it's okay. It is written in a chapter. So basically, we will have a view over the chapter and what does each distribution indicates. So we'll just have a view over that and then we would be done with our portion of first chapter, obviously, and then you can start the revision notes and the practice question as well. So thank you guys.